So for anybody that might be wondering why I have an extreme case of SH Figuarts Goku fatigue throughout the course of this video, it is because of the fact that I have reviewed all of these figures over the past couple of years, and that does not include the Demoniacal Fit or the Kong Studios accessory packs. So yes, bear with me this video, we've got a lot to talk about. What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at our 1000th Goku action figure from SH Figuarts. And you guys already know what this is about. No point in wasting time on the introduction. Let's get to the sexy packaging so we can bust this figure out. Now for the sexy packaging, once again, same thing we're used to seeing with the Dragon Ball line. This has become clearly the new standard. You do have the window packaging with some images along the side. It says SH Figuarts right there. Son Goku, Super Saiyan, full power, Tamashii Nation's seal of approval or quality sticker. You've got Bandai down there, Toei, Dragon Ball Z, Tamashii Nation's Bandai. Some more images along this side, not looking too bad. Nothing much going on at the top, nothing much going on at the bottom, just an image of him posed right there. Full powered Super Saiyan right there. And then of course on the back you got some poses you can get the figure into, as well as all the legal stuff at the bottom. So yeah, nothing new. Let's bust him open. Now straight out of the packaging, the first thing that I want to do is get my gripes out of the way about this figure, and then we'll talk about it. I do not like the fact that they didn't include the Super Saiyan 2 head sculpt, and that bugs me. And I know a lot of people might try to defend it and say, well, they like to go with the accuracy of the anime, yada yada yada. Well, if you remember correctly, Gohan, the Super Saiyan battle damage version that was released, he was never Super Saiyan while he was battle damaged with Cell. He was only Super Saiyan 2, but they included a Super Saiyan head sculpt, meaning that that figure is also inaccurate. On top of that, they released a Kaioken Goku that had two head sculpts. One that was the same one they used with the Saiyan Raised on Earth, but the second one was brand new and they still sold it for $30. So why could they not have done that with this figure? Now also, for the people that want to go back to the accurate part of it, the first time we saw Goku go Super Saiyan 2 was in his battle with Majin Vegeta. He did have the scar on his chest from the battle he had with Yakan. And so maybe you could say they wanted to keep it accurate to that. But if you actually look at the prototype that they showed us, Goku did not have that scar across his chest at all. It was this same body mold, they just had a different head sculpt on there. And it's the same thing they did with full powered Super Saiyan Trunks in his Saiyan armor. I don't know why they never released that head sculpt, but I don't know, it just bugs me when Tamashii Nations does that. I don't know, it's irritating. But I feel like people that pick this up would have gladly paid 10, 15, 20, maybe even 30 more dollars for this figure if we knew it came with a Tamashii Nations Super Saiyan 2 head sculpt. So I don't know, that's just a missed opportunity for me. I feel like this figure probably would sell a lot more if they did that. But anyway, I've rambled for 2 minutes. Let's talk about the figure and then we'll move on to other things. Now obviously when it comes to this figure, the only thing that's new is the hair sculpt and the faces. And I noticed that they are going with what seems to be the Cell Saga themed looks for all these characters. And what I mean by that is they have more, I guess you can say, grittiness to their expression. There's a lot more detail in the Cell Saga. And it's something that just happens throughout the course of Dragon Ball Z. As you can see, like just looking from the beginning, you can see the changes in Vegeta. You can see the changes in Goku, Gohan. There's just more definition, more art, more details to their faces and their expressions. Even the hair becomes a lot sharper. They start to add these detailed lines in there. And so I think that's why they did this. So I'm not going to complain about this head sculpt at all because it looks amazing. Now I do have some issues with mine, I'll say. I have like a green spot right here on this hairpiece. I have a dark spot right here. I'm going to use some alcohol and hopefully get these off, but I also have a dark spot right there. I'm not feeling that. Even though this is a $30 figure, it is a Tamashii Nations approved product. So I don't really care for paint splotches, especially when the hair sculpt is what's brand new to the figure other than the faces. They could have got that right because this body is probably the same body that they used with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I'm not entirely sure, but even if it's not, it could be a Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku just repainted, which I'm sure that it is. But I like the colors. I will say I love the color of the Super Saiyan hair. There's a bit of shading in there. The faces don't bother me as much as they did when I saw them in the promo images. Actually, I think they came out quite nicely. I don't really care for the line work in the eyebrows, or above the eyebrows, but at the same time, it's accurate to the anime. I really love what they did with the green eyes. They look good. They painted the mouth on there. Overall, in terms of detail, it's just not a lot to talk about. It's the same thing. And also, I got a paint spot right there on the orange. That's not cool, man. But whatever. The figure looks fine. Yeah, it looks fine. So let's go ahead and put him back and we'll get into his height. Now, in terms of the height on this guy, to the top of his head, or the hair, he actually stands at about 6.5 inches. To the top of his forehead, he stands at about 5.5. So his hair does make him pretty tall, which is normal. That's Goku's Super Saiyan hairstyle, so that makes sense. Now, in terms of his articulation, the ball peg on mine is super stiff, and I have no idea why, but he looks up about that much, which is pretty good. I think that this hair sculpt actually makes him look up a little bit better than on some of the older figures. I hope I'm right about that. I don't know. But like I was saying about the ball peg being stiff, I cannot get mine to look down at all. He looks up, but he does not look down. I don't know what is up with that, but this thing just barely wants to work. This is I have to kind of force it, and I'm scared to do that with the head on because I don't want it to break. So I'm gonna try to heat that up and hopefully it'll do some good, but it bugs me. But you do get some movement out of the neck as well. You do get pretty good tilt, not too bad, but it works. As far as the arms go, if you move that shoulder socket, they go up and out, not far at all, but we're used to that. You kind of have to swiggle it around, and then that's the way you can get him to punch out and things like that. Now this is a floaty piece. As you can see, it's just plugged into the back of the arm, and you can move that around. His elbows bend about that much. His hands are on a ball peg. Kind of tough to take off. Yeah, hands are on a ball peg, so there you go. You can move them around. Not a whole lot because this wrist piece is going to get in the way, but it is there. As far as the diaphragm joint goes, he leans back about that much, crunches forward about that much. Not a whole lot. You do get a little bit of tilt. You do barely get any swivel. That feels tough. It feels like something's going to break if I push it any more than that. I don't know. And maybe it's the engineering, but I've had Goku figures where it's like that. So I wouldn't swivel that too much. He does kick forward about that much, kick back about that much, does have a built-in thigh swivel. He can do the splits only about that much, and you will have to tuck this leg piece in under this floating piece right here in order for him to do that. As far as the knees go, they bend about that much. His foot goes down, still barely any, goes up almost none, about that much. Ankle rocker, it feels like it's a little bit better. I don't know if it is. Maybe I'm just imagining it, but it feels nice. It feels secure. His foot goes up about that much on the toe hinge. So yeah, articulation-wise, still the same limitations that you have with older Goku figures, but maybe some things work better. Maybe I'm just imagining it. I don't know. Now for the accessories, here's where things get a little interesting, and I'm going to save the interesting part for last. I'll start with the hands. First off, you do get a pair of fist hands straight out of the package. You get a pair of blast hands. You get a pair of Kamehameha hands. For the first time ever, you get 2 instant transmission hands instead of 1. That's new. And then you do get a pair of martial arts hands. Now in terms of the faces, once again, this is where things get different, and I am going to talk about that in detail probably in the next section. But you do get his default face once again that has much more detail than they normally put on them. It kind of resembles the Tien that they set up for release that I still can't believe I didn't pre-order, but it kind of resembles that Tien where there's a lot more detail in the face, and I'm cool with that. That's fine with me. But for the people who don't like that and you like this hair sculpt, I do want to say I'm not sure if you will be able to change the faces. I haven't done it yet, but based on the way that these are sculpted, like as you can see, there's a whole lot more plastic on the top of his head than on any of the older figures actually. But this one where he's yelling, screaming, powering up, whatever you want to use it for, this looks good. Once again, I don't like the eyebrows or the detail above the eyebrows. I keep saying the eyebrows. I don't like that. but it doesn't bother me. Maybe I can get to the point that I overlook it. This one, the one that everyone hated, it looks weird. Definitely not being on the body. Maybe I'll have a different opinion once I put it on there, but it doesn't look as bad as some of the prototype images made it look. Also, there's some yellow that's like a darker gold yellow almost around the eyebrows that give it a little bit more detail. So I do like that they threw that in there. That's dope. It makes it look like it's not just a skin tone and then this faded yellow of his eyebrows, but you also get this teeth gritted face, which this is probably my favorite one. I like this one. I think it's going to look great in photos. But yeah, overall, these are nice. I can't complain. I do like them more than I thought I was going to. So I do want to see if any of the older Super Saiyan Goku head sculpts, or face sculpts rather, will fit on this hair sculpt, because I feel like a lot of people really wanted to try that. And so I did get out two different ones. This one is from the Demoniacal Fit version, and then this one is from the Super Warrior Awakened version. As you can see, they are the exact same. Now, if I compare this to one of these, I don't think this is going to work because as you can see, this head sculpt is a little bit wider. And then, of course, you have what's going on at the top as well. But I wanted to try it on camera so you guys could see it as well. So I'm going to pop this off. And while I'm doing this, I did want to talk about the head sculpts, these brand new ones that they did. This is the first time. So, yeah, here's that question answered. You're not putting these head sculpts on there at all. That's just, it's not going. So yeah, don't expect to use any older Goku faceplates on these bodies. No point in me even getting two of them out. But yeah, anyway, I believe that this is the second time they've tried to go with new engineering for the face sculpts. And when I say that, I mean on these. Because if you guys remember, the first time they did it was actually with the Ultimate Gohan and Vegito that I think they released right around the same time, if I'm correct. But yeah, they did do that then, and now they're doing it now. So it's just showcasing that they're once again trying to up the scale when it comes to their Dragon Ball figures. They're trying to see what they can do better. It's up to you whether you like this or you like the old stuff. But I'm pretty sure they're going to continue to go with these designs, because as of now, we've got the more detailed Tien coming. They've showcased Vegeta. They showcased the new Yamcha. And I'm hoping at some point we'll get a 2.0 Krillin as well. But yeah, that's just a segment of me discussing that. Now let's go ahead and move on to the size comparisons. And now, since I've already done my rambling in this video, I figured I wouldn't make it too much longer, so I just decided to do all my size comparisons in one go. Here he is standing next to a bunch of SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures. We have Ginyu, Android 17, Vegeta, Jiren, Broly, Trunks, Piccolo, and Kid or Teen Gohan. Now, in case you're like me, or actually what seems to be the majority at this point, and you have already somehow managed to get yourself a body like this for one of your Goku figures, and you're really buying this just so that you can have the hair sculpt and the new faceplates, I'm going to show you what it looks like on a couple of other Goku bodies, but I'm only going to use these three simply because, as you can see just by looking at them, the ball peg's the exact same. So if it fits on these three, it's going to fit on any other Goku figure that you have. And actually, the first thing I'm going to do is show you guys one other thing, just in case some people were thinking about doing this. If you want an updated body for, let's say, your Ultimate Gohan, his head sculpt does fit on there just fine. So I'm actually going to leave that there so you guys can see it. But starting off, we'll use the Ultra Instinct Omen form. Let's see what this looks like on here. You guys heard that click, and I think it looks good. The skin tone doesn't quite match, but it does give you that updated Dragon Ball Z look, and I really like it. I dig that just fine. So yeah, that one works. If you want to see it on the Ultra Instinct full powered body, if you just want a Super Saiyan shirtless Goku, here you go. Once again, fits just fine. Looks just fine also, and actually I think this is probably going to be my favorite look for it. I dig this a lot. And lastly, this is just the extra one that I have. This is the Kong Studios Dragon Ball Heroes Goku, which I reviewed not too long ago. You can get this at 5K Toys. Feel free to hit them up. This actually looks really good as well. That's pretty dope. This is probably my favorite costume for Goku also, even though it's technically not canon. But yeah, once again, it is going to fit on every single Goku body. So if you want this head sculpt, by all means, you can buy this figure and sell the body if you want. Now for my final thoughts on this figure, it's another Goku. That's really the best way to put it. It's another Goku. Buying this, you know exactly what you're getting into. If you have any Goku figure at all, unless the Super Warrior Awakening or the Ultra Instinct are the only two Gokus you have. If you have any other Goku, then you know what to expect. And this is that. Same body, same movement, no new articulation, no real new accessories. You get a brand new head sculpt, which is pretty much the same with every Goku that they release, unless it's just some kind of repaint. But overall, I mean, it's a cool figure. It's solid. He looks nice. He's $30. I just feel like it's one that they could have done better. Now, if you're someone who already has this body somehow, once again, from either part swapping, customization, whatever way that you might have obtained this body, if you have the demoniacal fit Super Saiyan Goku head sculpt and you're content with that, you don't need this guy. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I picked it up for nostalgia purposes and review purposes, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I mean, honestly, it's just, it's another Goku. But I will say that the hair sculpt does make it a great figure. And if you like the look of the updated faces, then by all means, pick this guy up. But if you're just getting it just because you think it's going to add a bit of diversity to your collection, not so much. Not so much at all. That Super Saiyan 2 hair sculpt would have really done it with this figure. Honestly, I feel like it would have made it a lot more worth it. But at this point, there's no point in harping on it. So, yeah, if I had to rate this figure, actually, I'm not even going to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know a lot of it was probably me complaining. But I just wish Bandai would come on, man. Like, we've gotten enough of these. I'm going off again. Y'all get it. I hope you guys enjoy this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. If not, hey, I can completely understand this time around. But subscribe to my channel because I do have more reviews coming. Follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I do hope you guys have a great rest of your day, even if you don't like this review. Yeah, bye.